Hey there, it's me, just a regular guy from a small town in Ohio, sitting here, thinking back to that summer when everything flipped upside down. I'm Jake, by the way, and man, I gotta tell you about this one time I got tangled up in a neighborhood feud that still makes my blood boil when I think about it. It all started with a stupid fence a fence of all things. So, picture this. I just moved into this cozy little house in Maple Grove, a quiet suburb where folks waved at each other and kids rode bikes until the streetlights came on. I was thrilled, new start, new vibe, you know? But then I met Karen. Oh, Karen, the queen of the HOA, with her clipboard and her fake smile that could curdle milk. She lived 2 houses down and had this knack for making everyone feel like they were one misstep from a lawsuit. My crime? I wanted to put up a wooden fence in my backyard, nothing fancy, just something to keep my dog, Rusty, from chasing squirrels into the next county. Karen, though, she wasn't having it. Fences must be approved, Jake, she said, her voice dripping with that I'm better than you tone, and yours doesn't meet standards. Standards? It was a fence, not a skyscraper. I laughed it off at first, thinking she was just flexing her HOA power, but then the letters started coming: official notices, fines, threats to lien my house. Over a fence. I was livid, but I kept my cool, tried to play nice, went to the HOA meeting with my plans, my measurements, even a dang PowerPoint. They shot it down. Karen leaned across the table, smirking. Maybe you're just not cut out for Maple Grove, Jake. That stung. I mean, I'd poured everything into this house, every penny, every dream of building a life here. And now this woman, who didn't even know me, was gatekeeping my backyard? I started digging figuratively, not literally, though I was tempted to grab a shovel. Turns out, Karen wasn't just a control freak. She had a grudge. Years back, my house belonged to her ex-best friend, Lisa, who'd left town after some big falling out. Karen saw me as some outsider treading on her turf, a reminder of old wounds. It wasn't about the fancy, it was personal. I could have backed down, but something in me snapped. I wasn't going to let her bully me out of my own home. So I got creative. I read every HOA rule, every bylaw, every fine print they thought nobody would bother with. And there it was, buried in the fine print. Temporary structures under 5 feet didn't need approval. Game on. I built a temporary fence 4 feet, 11 inches, to be exact, out of reclaimed wood, painted it this obnoxious bright blue just to mess with her. I even added a little gate with a sign that said, Rusty's Paradise. The neighborhood kids loved it. They'd stop by, pet Rusty, laugh at the bright blue monstrosity. Karen? She was fuming. She'd drive by, glaring, her minivan slowing to a crawl like she was plotting her next move. One day, she marched over, face red, clipboard in hand, and snapped. This is an eyesore, Jake. Take it down. I leaned against my porch, sipping coffee, and said, check the rules, Karen. It's legal. Maybe you should have read your own handbook. The look on her face, man, it was like I'd stolen her crown. But it didn't end there. Karen escalated things, started rallying neighbors, spreading rumors I was trouble, trying to turn Maple Grove against me. A few folks bought her act, but others, like old Mr. Thompson next door, had my back. He'd had his own run-ins with Karen over his rose bushes apparently. They were too tall. We formed a little rebellion, me and a handful of neighbors, showing up to HOA meetings, calling out Karen's power trips, even getting a petition going to loosen the fence rules. It was messy, heated. Picture me, a guy who hates public speaking, standing up in a room of 50 people, voice shaking, saying, this isn't about fences, it's about control. We're neighbors, not prisoners. The room went quiet, and for the first time, I saw Karen flinch. The final showdown came at the annual block party. Karen tried to publicly shame me, holding court by the potato salad, saying my fence was dividing the community. I'd had enough. I grabbed the mic. There was a karaoke setup and laid it all out. The grudge, the rules, the way she targeted me for no reason. I didn't yell, didn't curse, just let the truth spill out like I was telling a story to a friend. People started nodding, whispering. Karen tried to interrupt, but Mr. Thompson, bless him, cut her off, saying, let the man speak. By the end, half the neighborhood was clapping, and Karen stormed off, her clipboard forgotten on a picnic table. The next week, the HOA board voted her out. My fence, still standing, bright blue and proud. Looking back, I wonder if I went too far with that blue paint. Maybe I poked the bear a bit much. But man, it felt good to stand my ground, to take back my little piece of Maple Grove. It wasn't just about a fence. It was about saying, this is my home, and you don't get to run me out. So what do you think? Was I right to fight back, or should I have just played nice? Drop a comment. Share your own HOA horror stories. I am dying to hear them. And if you've ever stood up to a bully like Karen, give this video a like, share it with your friends, and let's keep the conversation going.